So I was in that, and I was mainly with the acting part of it. And then the next summer, I was in Music Man, and that was fun too. And then this is the first year I'm on the staff this year, and I've gotten more involved in the technical aspects. I've put out more of myself.
So you're not just strictly interested in acting, it's kind of an overall interest there, is that right?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot more interested in the technical aspects this year.
What part did you play in Music Man?
I was a townsperson.
She had a solo
Yes.
in one of the songs.
That is a tremendous show.
Can I?
Surely,
Alice,
Chuck, go ahead.
Read us now to tell you that she's our resident brain. And this year,
I noticed the aura about her.
this year she has been our financial secretary, and that is a tremendous job because there's tickets, of course, you think about first,
Right.
Then we have all the money that comes in and all the money that goes out must be recorded down to the penny, and that requires books and all, and that's something you don't normally. Doesn't fit the normal personality of the theater person.
No, that's quite true.
But Allison has gotten into that. She even turned out to be our birthday party lady this year. We offered a thing of bring your party to the show about an hour before, and we give them cake and ice cream, and then let them tour backstage, and then they get special reserved seats. And she set that up and ran that, baked the cake.
Well, that's good training.
She couldn't do the intricate decorating, though. We had to get one of the girls in the costume shop.
Well, you sound very multi-talented, Allison. Now, let's turn to Lori for a moment. I notice you're going to American River College starting next month. Does that mean you will no longer be active in the workshop activities?
No, not necessarily, because musical choir workshop allows people from college to be in it. But it all depends on what I will be doing next summer, whether my other things come up that I might get into in the summer. Otherwise, I might look into it again and see what shows I will be doing.
What motivated you to enter into the workshop activities?
Well, last year, a couple of my friends were in it, and they had leads in the shows, and it really started me to be interested in it and see what they were getting into. And I thought it would be really a great experience to have some more in theater and just be active with more people.
Mm-hmm. In what capacities have you participated? Mainly?
My most main interests are in acting and music, and I was able to do this in musical comedy workshop, but I did see other aspects as technical and dance, and I was able to work in some of this too.
Mm-hmm. What roles have you played that you've enjoyed, your favorite roles?
Well, in Norton I played Mrs. Hadley, that show was more equal with all the characters, most like, except for the two main ones, Norton and Beth. And in Abner, I played Dr. Finsdale, which was it had a lot of lines, which was really hard for me at first because I had never had so many talking lines.
How do you prepare for a part, usually?
Well, I take the script home and I read over my lines and then try to remember them.
It's a grueling process sometimes, isn't it?
That are involved with it, so I probably will go into some technical part of it,
aspect
some
of it.
business type.
But Jack, at this level, juniors and seniors, and all the way through high school, where people say, and parents, but can you make a living at it?
I got that too.
I think you can. I think I see theater and all recreation activities growing. They say that we get more and more leisure time. And I see this as the forerunner, the harbinger of something like that we are into theater. We have, music comedy workshops, we'd like that, like we started and what have you. But there were many? 2 other high school groups this summer doing approximately the same thing we were, and 4 K through 8. The K through 8 was broader in that it was all fine arts and performing arts, music, band, choir, but they did shows as well, painting, sculpting, all the running the gamut of the arts and crafts.
Excuse me, just a minute here, Chuck. What made you select musical comedy as the... Why haven't you included street drama?
Okay. Musical comedy is one of the hardest things that we have to do in high school during the year, because you have to bring it all together, right? You have to go out and get the music department involved, and usually the musical comedy production is much more grand. In straight theaters, probably just a box set, just a single set, one room and everything happens there. And musical comedy, they go in and out and around the globe and all of that. So, as a drama teacher, during the year, this is one of the hardest things that we have to do. And because of that, we don't do as many of them.
How many do you do each season?
During regular school?
No, during the workshop summer.
2 this year, 3 last year, 2 the year before. It just kind of depends on what shows become available, what shows catch our fancy. We run anywhere from 7 to 9 weeks, and we found that doing 3 shows in that period of time is pretty rough. Again, my hat's off to the music circus when they do a new one every week. But, of course, it's been on the level of their experience. But we found, to get back to this, we just don't do that many musical comedies during the year. The kids like them. The directors like them. The technical challenges are bigger. So we decided to concentrate on this. We have thought about doing straight shows. Comedy, summer generally comes, toward a lighter vein.
How do you select your productions? What material do you usually look for?
We want a family show, at least one family show, one that will appeal to everyone. Usually, we like, this is the second original that we've done. 2 years ago, a young man, Jeff Rizzo, who graduated from Encina, as Laurie did, and who is now a rehearsal pianist at the music circle, wrote us a show on William Gibson one-act called Benny and the Witches. The challenge of it, last year we did Jesus Christ Superstar. And, the kids, as far as singing goes, that's the thing they like nowadays. And it's a different style from the normal musical comedy. We wanted to do that. A couple of years ago we did Godspell.
Do your productions draw full houses most of the time?
We'd like to say they do. The latter this year did very well. Norton, I think because it wasn't known on their name. The people have gotten used to us doing the standards, and they see a name and they like Music Man, and they come to it. But we had a selling job to do on Norton this year, and we have very respectable houses.
How do you hold auditions for the parts that are available?
We just announce it. Well, they are held during the school. We go, in order to get everybody pretty much at the same level, we don't audition until the middle of the second week in the school. So they have 8 to 10 days of schooling. And those young people who are coming in for the first time have never had any training, at least have a start on singing, acting, and dancing, and the tech. And then we hold our tryouts, and we cast from student bodies.
How do you feel when you go into an audition or tryouts? Laurie, for example?
Well,
what happens inside of your tummy?
I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, and so I was pretty scared. But after I got there, and I was there for a while, I was really at ease, and there was nothing for me to really worry about. But I felt really at ease, and otherwise, usually I'm very scared.
Once you get that initial step is made, why, it becomes easier. Allison, how do you like auditions?
They're all right as long as you don't have to sing.
How did you audition for the part of Norton the first, Dave?
Well, you just
I walked in and there was a group of people there. Shelley's playing the piano and give her some music. Shelley Reynolds is our rehearsal pianist at Musical Comedy Workshop. And
usually with a musical, they'll want you to sing a number.
Right.
Your acting ability comes second.
And we have them dance as well. Mm-hmm. We have our choreographer teach them a basic step. It wasn't too basic this year. It was one of the steps from the opening of chorus line.
We're running short of time here, Chuck, but I would like to get a word or two from you on the overall goals of the workshop.
Well, initially, as I said, we went into this thing to give everyone more experience, so that when we came to do a musical comedy during the season, mm-hmm. there were some people at all the schools who had a little more experience, and it would make our job easier. I think the second was the one I mentioned earlier, to give these serious-minded college students an opportunity to practice their craft during the summer. I think we've been pretty successful there. And then, of course, in terms of our communication with the community, we like that. Our audiences are, from around our schools and all over, and we feel like that we have entertained them. And then, of course, we've given our kids the experience, and to keep the theater alive and going. We're also a live theater.
What do you predict is the future for the workshop?
We're just going on and on. We're already now planning our 10th year. In 3 years, we'll be our anniversary season, and we're going to bring back the first show we ever did. One of the nice things about this, Jack, is that every year kids from all the years come back, and they say, "Oh, let's do it again."
Yeah.
And so I call their challenge and say, "Okay, in 1979, we'll redo Mattress if you guys will all come back and do your original role."
Sounds like a great deal of fun and plenty of enjoyment.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'd like to ask you a few more things here, but we do have to get off on time. So I want to thank you, all of you, for being on our broadcast. We've been talking about the Musical Comedy Summer Workshop Community Schools program affiliated with the Recreation Department of the San Juan School District. Our guests were Charles Chuck Evans, Workshop Director, and 3 active members of the workshop: Allison Ches, student at Mira Loma High School; Lori Lake, a graduate student from Encina High School; and Dave Fisher, a junior at Jesuit High School. Thank you again for being with us. The Challenge of Learning is produced by the Education Department of McClatchy Broadcasting in cooperation with the Office of Information and Dissemination of the California State Department of Education. Our audio engineer was Carl Zander. This is Jack Cahill